Hello, everyone. This is Will.
This is Alex.
Welcome back to another episode of They Mostly Come Out at Night.
Fight me now. Mostly.
Dude.
Don't even lie to yourself, Will. This was fucking amazing. This is some amazing shit.
It was pretty epic, I'm not gonna lie.
Like,
pretty epic.
If anything has ever defined the term amazing shit, this is what it is.
You know what I like about this movie the most, though? This is my, main takeaway before we get into it. It doesn't waste your goddamn time, okay? It wastes none of your time.
Well, this has, the most efficient, simple-minded, filmmaking and writing ever.
This is, as efficient as, Mario games where Princess Peach just gets kidnapped and that's the only plot you need to know.
Yeah.
Or, Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's, simple, stupid plot just to keep it moving.
I was gonna say more like some shoot 'em up games.
Yeah.
Have simple plots. It's you need to get this thing done.
But this
Dunzo.
The only reason I compare it to Zelda and Mario is because
someone's kidnapped.
Someone gets kidnapped twice
in the same movie. Yeah.
The same woman.
Same woman in the same movie gets kidnapped twice.
Twice. To keep the plot going.
Because more uncles have to get their asses kicked.
You know why? Because why else? How else would you explain why one dude needs to take on an entire mob and
ninjas,
an entire martial arts school of ninjas?
Yeah. So many uncles get their asses kicked in this movie.
It's great.
Just uncle after uncle.
Most of the extras, so before we get into the fight scenes, most of the extras are just older white dudes that are kind of
middle-aged white dudes.
They're chubby.
That they found in whatever locale. There's parts of the movie that are filmed in Italy. So there's just Italian uncles.
But I love it because most of them are kind of overweight.
Yeah.
They all have handlebar mustaches and ponytails or something like that.
It's very 1982.
And they try and dress them in hip, trendy clothing.
Trendy, clothing.
Which is great because it just makes them look older.
And then they get their asses kicked.
Yes, by Bruce L.E.
Bruce L.E.
Lee.
And, Bruce L.E. is an artist. Because he knows what he wants and what
Dude,
really...
he directed this and he choreographed this.
There's 2 directors attached to this fucking thing.
So Bruce Lee is one of the directors. He also did the choreography. And I'm not going to lie, the fight scenes are pretty fucking dope.
He's also a repeat offender.
We've seen him before, yes.
We had Challenge of the Tiger, which, man...
That was a pretty horny movie.
I thought that was horny and epic. And boy, this is even more horny and epic.
He was like, you know what? I liked doing that movie, but I could do better.
I can do more.
I could do more. More fights, more ludicrous fight scenes, and more nudity. Because I swear to God, there is not even 5 minutes in this film without a fight scene or nudity.
Or both.
Or both in the span of a few seconds.
Well, there's a scene that has both in it.
Yes.
There's a scene where our man goes to a porn studio.
And interrupts a lesbian pornographic scene to fight dudes.
To fight uncles.
While the women are still laying around.
Yeah, and they're there's uncles being tossed onto the women. Naked.
Yes.
Look, our dude knows.
He went for it.
This whole movie is a testament to going for it.
I've seen a lot of 70s and 80s movies. So when I say the nudity was a little excessive,
you haven't seen this movie.
That's taking it to the bank because I've seen 70s movies. I get it. Before the rating system was a thing, you just had a field day with it. I get it. But man, there is so much like on-screen nudity in this film. It is
It's
insane.
wild.
It is insane.
Yeah.
That, Amazon even rates this a 13 plus.
Yeah. We rented this.
I don't think this movie is big enough to have an official rating. To be
No.
honest,
But still, we watched this on Amazon. We had to rent it, and the rating on there is a 13 plus, which is bold, considering that there is like copious nudity, and there's like also blood and stuff. But my God, it's fine.
There's no swearing, which is weird.
I did not pick up any swearing. No.
I mean, they probably say shit or damn.
Oh,
But that's about it.
the inhumanity.
They don't drop an. I literally did not hear an F-bomb dropped.
No, we see heads dropping,
We'll get there.
heads flying, baby.
So I guess we should explain. I mean, we already kind of explained the plot.
Kidnap.
So a diplomat?
Ambassador's
daughter gets kidnapped.
Because he won't do something.
I don't know.
There's like some scheme, and he's like, I don't want to do it. And because of that, his daughter
Gets kidnapped.
And
And Bruce Lee, for some reason, his name is Bruce in the movie.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be easy to remember his name.
In the beginning of the movie, he is like with like the mob.
And he like goes to jail. They get into a couple fights. He takes the fall for a guy, his friend.
He goes to jail.
And goes to jail, comes back and is reformed.
And he doesn't want to do it anymore.
Join the mob.
In the meantime.
So he tries to quit the mob, gets into another fight.
Yeah, they attack him. His friend attacks him, actually.
Yep.
And in the meantime, this ambassador's daughter gets kidnapped by ninjas or something.
Takata.
And they go. They you know what they do? They globe-trot around the world, Bond style, looking for.
Interesting that you say Bond style.
Oh, is there a Bond thing in this?
You know
I didn't notice.
You didn't? Interesting.
I didn't notice any. Can you elaborate?
Yeah. So our good old Harold Cicada.
Oh, Odd Job.
Odd Job, yeah.
He doesn't throw a hat, does he?
He absolutely does.
Oh,
and
okay.
Guess what? He wears a hat a bolo hat.
Well, how would you know that he's Odd Job?
In every single scene. You know how I know he's Odd Job? Because every single time he's on screen,
he wears the hat.
Without fail, he wears the hat, and the James Bond music plays.
The straight up Bond music plays.
The officially licensed James Bond theme plays every single fucking time he is on screen. And do you know what his fucking name is in the movie? Cicada.
Epic.
They just literally were like, okay, cool. Your name's not Harold in the movie, okay? You're like the leader of the ninja clan, so your name's Cicada. We're just gonna use your last name.
He has a Freddy glove too.
A gold Freddy glove that's like impervious unless you chop his hand off.
With your leg.
That happens.
We'll get to that. But yeah, he's the one who kidnaps the daughter, and then guess what? She gets rescued, and then there's 20 minutes of movie left. So what do? We kidnap her again, baby.
Yep, now the mob kidnaps her.
The mom from the beginning, yeah.
But don't worry. In the meantime, while the ninjas have her, for some reason the mob is still pissed off that Bruce left and decides to kill his girlfriend. But he doesn't care about that. The ninjas then also,
well, to be fair, he cares about it for about a minute.
What's weird is...
But that's like everything in the movie.
What's weird is the female detective that's helping them cares more about the girlfriend than Bruce does. And then, of course, when he goes to Hong Kong, because the ninjas are in Hong Kong for some reason, because I guess they couldn't get a ticket to Japan, or couldn't get permits.
Oh yeah, well they're like Japanese ninjas, but they're in Hong Kong.
Well, then, at the end, they're white ninjas. Listen, this movie's all over the place, okay?
Because they're in Italy at the end, Will.
Yeah, so, it's European ninjas now.
They're Italian ninjas, it's fine.
So, anyway, I love it because when he goes to Hong Kong, not only do the ninjas kill his father, which he kind of forgets in almost immediately, they also kidnap and kill his sister.
They don't kill the sister.
Oh no, they kidnap his sister, which again he forgets immediately because you know what his main directive is? Rescuing the kidnapped girl.
Because if he rescues her, he gets $50,000.
He could give a shit. He literally couldn't care less about like his dad, his girlfriend, his sister.
Well, to be fair, he cares about the dad and the sister for like 2 minutes until the fight commences.
Yes.
The ninja fight. The first ninja fight. But yeah. It's just a globe-trotting adventure. In the beginning of the movie, like after all this stuff, like she gets kidnapped and then for some reason...
Because it starts in Rome, they go to Paris, and then they go to Hong Kong.
Right, and then from Hong Kong back to Rome.
Yes.
But yeah, there's like, there's some fights in Rome. And then for some reason, they know that they have to go to Paris. So our guy was doing a European trip. They go to Paris. They literally go to like the fucking like red light district and go to like the actual Moulin Rouge club. And then they film inside of a nightclub and then they hassle some guy and he tells them, go here. It's literally like a fucking video game.
And it's the porn studio.
It's like a video game where you just like go on like a quest and then you go like across the map and then you talk to a guy and he's like, oh, go here. And then you talk to the next guy and he's like, oh, no, actually, go here. But yeah, the guy sends him to a porn studio. We get a fight in there. And then the guy sends them to like somewhere. He sends them to a place where there's a fucking uncle having a makeout session with a naked woman, and then they interrupt the uncle, and then they have a fucking like chase through Paris on the subway.
Through the subway station,
and then up, and then he like briefly fights him, and then is like, "Where's the daughter?" And then he tells him another location, and then he tells him to go to fucking
Hong Kong.
And then him and the detective are just like, well, I guess this is it.
Goodbye.
Bye. They shake hands. Bye.
Then Bruce thinks he's out.
And then
they kill his girlfriend.
Because he's on the beach with the girlfriend and another woman, and he is rubbing oil on them.
And then
because they got boobies and butts.
Guy brings an umbrella
with a sniper rifle
in it. Tries to snipe.
Goes on the roof.
Tries to snipe Bruce right as his girlfriend comes up to hug him.
To kiss him.
Shoots her in the head.
And then he fights a bunch of uncles.
Fights a bunch of uncles. Then they hassle a guy and he tells him to go to Hong Kong.
And then for no reason
no, never mind. They don't tell him to go to Hong Kong. Remember,
he already knows.
The fucking guy is like, here's like $15,000.
Because he has a meeting with the ambassador. And then he's like, here's $50,000, get my daughter back from Hong Kong.
Yeah, and then he just goes to Hong Kong.
Because he tells him, like, she got kidnapped by ninjas.
Let me tell you, this is not a hero's journey, okay? This is not like, guy, like, wants vengeance. Like, you get the impression that he only just wants the $15,000 because he didn't even mourn his girlfriend's death that much.
He mourned it enough. He mourned it for, like, 1 minute. Which is just enough for our 80-minute movie to keep fucking plugging along.
But don't worry, we get a little backstory.
He goes
the mob because
he goes to fucking Hong Kong.
Oh my God.
And then immediately after he gets off the plane, we get a flashback
of his dad saying like,
"Don't go,"
and like crying, and his sister
is also like, "Don't go." His dad's in bad shape. Don't go.
Also, we have no idea.
And he's like, I gotta go.
Well, here's the thing. It's like, we have no idea how long he was in Europe with the mob.
Long enough,
dude. We
dude.
don't know why he went to Rome specifically for the mob and not in Hong Kong, which I don't understand. But, they don't.
It's fine.
They don't explain any small details.
We don't need them.
You only need to get the big picture, okay?
We don't need it, Will.
So he goes back to his house and he's all pissed off that his dad is dead.
How do we know his dad is dead, Will?
Because there's a shrine
in the house
and a bunch of like fake cobwebs everywhere.
And he's just like, it zooms in on the shrine and it zooms in on his eyes.
And he's like,
and his friend comes in and he's like, "What's up? Like, what happened to my dad?" And he's like, "Oh,
But
Let me
2
tell
months
you.
ago,
And then we get another flashback of Cicada and a henchman going to his dad and being like, I want your daughter. And then they kill the dad. He stabs him with his glove. And then his friend gets beat up. And then that's the end of that. They kidnapped his daughter because stuff. They take his daughter. So they take his sister to a fucking harem with the ambassador's daughter, where they drug them with a drug that makes them horny. And then a guy, for no reason, just shows up and just gets fucking like.
But what guy is it?
It's our villain from the last movie.
Yeah. I cannot believe this happened.
He shows up and he goes there and he's like, "What's going on?" And then all these women just jump on him,
dogpile him,
and he's like, "Oh no!" And he runs away.
And then they're at the grave site for his dad.
Mourning.
And then immediately get ambushed by ninjas.
Which teleport.
Because this fucking movie has no chill.
Yeah, the ninjas teleport. Like, they literally vanish.
Vanish in the thin air. There's no smoke bomb or anything. They just vanish. And in this reality, this just makes sense to them.
Oh, there's no questioning.
They don't question it at all in the slightest. They don't even care.
They don't.
They're just like, wow, that guy's tough. And like...
Yeah. They go and they're like, well... They beat up they fight the ninjas, and they're like, well, we need help from so-and-so. And they go to their friend who's on a boat.
It's getting to my favorite part of the movie.
They talk to their friend, and he's like, oh, that's too much. 5 seconds later, okay, I'll do it. I'll do it just this once.
Yep, so they
go to, like...
an island?
Their friend shows them this hideout of the ninjas.
When they go to, like, the actual place, and their friend, for some reason, goes somewhere else...
Their friend's like, okay, I showed you where it is, bye. And then he goes to the forest and just starts to chill and gets ambushed by ninjas, and they punch him.
And
they disappear into thin air.
He does his little routine, and he's like, come out, come out.
Fight me now. And then
the ninja flies out, lobs his head off, and, like, we get a scene of the ninja, like, swiping, and then, like, the head flies off, and it just freeze frames.
End.
Now, okay. And let me just say...
You lost your shit, dude.
This dude was on screen for, like,
2 minutes.
More than 2 minutes. And my dude just gets all pumped and just gets his head just fucking chopped off and freeze-framed for no reason.
This is never mentioned again.
There's no reason for this dude to meet this end at all. But it happened, and I lost my fucking shit. Like, I can explain it all I want.
You have to see it.
You have to see this.
Well, because this is never mentioned again.
But it's sad because you have to see the rest of the movie, like, to get the whole context. Like, so
of why. Yeah.
Of why this is so hilarious, because this random dude just, like,
that we were introduced to a minute ago.
For no fucking reason. Just meets the most violent end in the entire movie.
It's just end, and then we don't get. There's no
resolution or anything. There's no vengeance for this guy. He just gets his head chopped off and then end scene. They just move on with the rest of the movie because the scene looked cool.
Yeah, it did. And then they fight the fucking ninja school, and they rescue all the fucking women from the harem.
I also want to mention, I love how every single person in the ninja school is wearing a taekwondo gi.
It's fine.
Like, it says, like, taekwondo on it, which is hilarious.
It's
because
fine.
They're supposed to be in Hong Kong or Japan.
It's fine.
And taekwondo's not in... I mean, there might be. I don't know. Like, I'm not a martial arts expert, okay? There might be some taekwondo in Japan and Hong Kong, but we usually just don't get it.
It's fine, Will.
But it's hilarious.
Did they care enough?
No.
You know what they cared about? Titties.
They just got some cheap gis that happen to say taekwondo.
They went to the first, like, corner store in Hong Kong they could find, and, like, the cheapest one. And the guy was like, oh yeah, like, I got a bunch of, like, taekwondo stuff.
These don't sell at all. I'll give them to you for a good price.
I'll give them to you for, like, $1 a pop. And he's like, yeah, fine. Here, uncle. put it on.
Uncles, put these on. And then the Italian ninjas.
And then they get fucking kicked, and then they get beat up. But yeah, they rescue all the women from the harem. Efficient.
And then they save
They beat up a bunch of uncles, and our dude goes back through that forest where the dude got his head lobbed off, and then he fights the ninjas.
Enter the most epic fight scene in the entire movie. Honestly, one of the most epic fight scenes I've seen in a long time.
In a very long time.
I don't know what was going... Like, they just had, like, a moment of clarity, and we're just like, you know what? We're just going to do the most lit fight scene you've ever seen.
Because they're,
like... Literally, like, 5 minutes.
Because it's all these, like, ninjas, like... appearing and disappearing and then like jumping from from out of underground, but they do this thing where he's like fighting them
and they'll disappear and reappear behind him, but he'll like strike behind him,
but he'll like do perfect like,
and you can tell it's like a cut, but it's so like
it's seamless
edited. I don't understand because the rest of the movie is not this seamless. The rest of the movie is kind of like lazy, like to call it lazy editing would be kind of an overstatement.
I call it haphazard.
Yeah, that's fair. It's like haphazardly edited, and they don't really you can tell they don't really give a shit. They just want to make a movie. But this scene, for some reason, like I said, just moment of clarity, they were just like, we're going to make the best edited fight scene.
This is going to be epic.
It's going to be so epic. And it was, and I want to watch it again and again because I actually really... like this fight scene a lot.
There's a part where he's fighting the ninja and it's disappearing and it like disappears to his right, so he moves over and punches to the right, and then it goes behind him and he punches behind him, and then he punches to the left.
It looks so fucking cool.
It's great.
It looks like an anime fight scene.
Yeah.
Like something in like Naruto or something where he's
it does
disappearing, reappearing, and like the person knows exactly where they're gonna reappear, so he like
and then
punches
he fucking
there.
Kills the ninja and then just like pushes him over. It's very anime.
Well, it's great because he beats the shit out of the ninja, and then the ninja like gets knocked out, like dies standing up, and like in just true like even old school Bruce Lee fashion, and he just like lightly pushes him over.
And then after this, he's like, he knows that Sakata's gone away on a fucking boat, and so him and his sister are like, let's go get him. And then they take a boat to the other boat
while the James Bond theme song plays,
and they have the ambassador's daughter tied to the pole naked.
Of course, naked. Yep.
And they get to the boat, and then he beats all of them up, fights Sakata. He throws his hat, it misses him,
and like lodges into the pole behind him.
And then he's fighting him with his fucking Freddy glove, and then he like punches his Freddy glove through like a board and gets stuck. And our guy kicks his hand so hard, he rips his fucking arm off.
And then he just punches Sakata a bunch and then, like, drops him into the ocean.
And then comes up to the woman and is like, you're safe. Let me give you some clothes.
I'll take you back to Rome.
Okay. End scene.
End scene. They're back in Rome.
Plane landing. They're back in Rome, and then, like, they're waiting for a ride, and our detectives from 40 fucking minutes prior are apparently going to pick them up or something.
You know what I love about this scene? They never, ever, ever show the detectives ever again.
We don't need to.
They get into a car accident, and the guy's just yelling and saying, I'm not going to go anywhere. And that is the last scene
that you
ever see of the detectives.
Yeah.
The Rome detectives. Like,
it's it. And then
what a fucking send-off. They just get into a car accident and done. Fucking gone, you know?
They get picked up, and then they go to the fucking, like, ambassador's house. She goes upstairs to see her dad. Our guy is chilling downstairs. She yells. He fights some more uncles, and then she's kidnapped again. And then immediately he gets a phone call, and it's his friend from the beginning of the movie, and he's like,
fighting the Coliseum tomorrow.
We have her. It's tomorrow, the Coliseum. Fight to the death. And then, of course...
Oh, no, he says you fight the ninjas to the death.
And then he goes there and he fights the ninjas.
He fights the Italian ninjas because they're all just a bunch of white dudes.
Gets a bunch of white dudes. They're slightly less uncle. They're a bit younger because they have to be ninjas, I guess.
Throwing ninja stars. One of them has sais. One of them has, like, nunchucks.
And he kills all of them. He gets to the Coliseum, and then it's his friend.
It's go time.
And he's, like, standing there like,
come out.
Show yourself. And then they slowly walk around the Coliseum building tension. And then they fight. And this is so extra because they're fighting and they're doing like the animal sounds.
Oh,
So
one is a tiger sound, one is like a was a falcon or
it's like
like
an
a
eagle
eagle sound.
because he's like doing the thing where he's like scratching
It's
with
the
his
different
fucking
like styles.
yeah.
So like like Bruce Lee's fighting tiger style, so it was like tiger.
Rawr, yeah.
There's like the eagle style or whatever, and then like at one time the guy switches to snake, and then you hear like a hissing
sound. Yeah, it's so extra. Our guy Bruce gets his ass kicked for like 75% of this fight.
Like I'm all for these kind of fight scenes where like the hero, like you have to show that the hero can get damaged and he's not like impervious to like.
I was gonna say, considering 99% of this movie, he just kicks everyone's. He lays bitches out.
Yeah, he has like a formidable foe.
And now it's like he's finally struggling, but then like at the very end, it gets extra because he starts getting the upper hand, and then he fucking breaks the guy's leg, and we get like a fucking
like an X-ray.
And then he fucking punches him so hard.
He reaches in.
We get an X-ray shot of a rib being.
Well, no, we get a skeleton hand reaching into the fucking like chest cavity and ripping out 2 ribs.
And then we get an X-ray of his heart beating and then stopping, and he dies.
And then Bruce Lee goes and lays on the
because he's fucking exhausted.
He just lays down in movie.
Yeah.
Now, they never showed the woman getting rescued. Now, presumably, the mob has her, because they did show the mob boss.
Right.
And he said they have her.
Right.
So he never technically rescued the girl again.
Technically, no, but we ran out of film, so it's fine.
Whatever. He beat his like friend.
He beat his nemesis. And
who was his friend? And why explain more than that?
You right, baby.
Okay. Why
we don't need more.
We don't need more than that.
We don't need mourning. We get a minute of mourning for each character.
I just love how the diplomat's daughter is the only important thing in this fucking movie, and it's just the driving force because everything else goes wrong in his life. He loses his girlfriend.
His dad dies.
He forgets about his fucking sister after he like rescues her from a fucking harem where they make her all horny and subject her to
well, we know he rescues her, and you know what? That's as this movie goes. That's all we need to know.
Like you said, his dad dies and just like glazes over everything. But the diplomat's daughter is the most important thing. Okay.
The diplomat's daughter is the reason for the globe-trotting.
Yes.
It's the reason for our vacation shoots.
It's the reason for the movie.
Exactly.
This movie is, like, we talk about like these short movies like padding out time where we're like, okay, you only have like an hour and 30 minutes, why would you need to pad out time? Just
why are you wasting time? Yeah,
you know, like, don't waste time. This movie wastes none of your time. Well, it's just an hour and 20 minutes of just balls to the wall action, nudity, excessive like shit.
This is the only way you can describe this movie is this is some incredible shit.
There is no downtime in this movie.
Dude, there's so little downtime that like I didn't even have time to react to some things.
There's like maybe a couple minutes collectively of downtime in
this
movie.
You're like in the middle of your downtime and then they just get attacked.
Yeah.
Like random people.
Like the fucking when the friend like is explaining how the dad died and then they're at the gravesite and you're just like, oh, it's like a mournful scene.
Well, they're like they're sad for like 5 seconds and then immediately
they get attacked by ninjas.
Immediately. This movie's insane.
It's like 0 to 100 in like 0.2 seconds.
There's no time wasted.
There's no time to even like think about like what implications anything has because like, right when you're thinking about it, it goes to the next fight scene.
Yeah.
Or it goes to the next scene that has like nudity or something like that.
Or both.
Yeah, it's literally non-stop. It's just a freight train. This movie's just a freight train. And I kind of love it for that. I'm not going to lie. I actually really enjoyed this one.
This was epic.
It's good. I know it's a short review today, but like there's not a lot here. It's an hour and 20-minute action movie that doesn't waste any time and barely has a plot.
You just have to see this
It has
thing.
just enough plot to hold it together and give motivation to the characters of why they're beating the shit out of uncles.
Dude, this is like, you have to see this shit. Like, this is the most, like, efficiently stupid thing I've ever seen.
It is very dumb.
Like, people, like, he literally, like, it's literally just fight scene, nudity, and then, like, a conversation that is just like, where are they? Paris. Okay.
The conversations are like literally 30 seconds long.
Yeah, it's like literally,
There's
where are they?
Nothing there.
They're in Paris. Okay.
Cool. They're in Paris already fighting uncles.
Hey, where is this person? I don't know. Go here. Okay. Like, and then they go there. Where are they? Fuck you. Fight. Minus the fuck you. They just fight, and then they beat up some uncle, and then they're like, Uncle, where are they? And he's like, Hong Kong. Okay. Like, that's the whole movie.
The whole movie is like...
And then they rescue them. You're safe now. I will put on some clothes. I'll take you to Rome. Okay. Done. Like, it's just...
I might actually just buy this movie, so I, like, literally, okay, so Amazon Prime, I'm not trying to plug them unless they want to sponsor us, but it's...
You
can
rented
rent
this...
it for 99 cents.
Or buy it.
Or buy it for $2.99. So
which is...
the less than the price of an actual rental on Amazon
like,
Prime.
We've rented movies...
that were $4.99.
That were like $3.99, $4.99.
Yes.
And then we've rented them.
More expensive than a 48-hour rental.
To buy
this movie. So, you know what? $3 well spent, because I can watch that ninja fight scene over and over and over.
You can just keep recommending this movie to people.
I will, just for that fight scene alone, honestly. Like, I don't know why. I love it. And the fucking scene where the fucking random dude just gets his head lobbed off for no reason.
Listen, if you
like,
are...
That scene is so excessively violent towards that one character that I just don't even understand. Like, what did someone hate him on this set or something? Like, he was like one of the worst actors to work with or something? Like, they're like, we gotta kill him in the most violent way in the entire movie.
Look, I just want to say, like, if you are a lizard brain, like me,
like we both are,
you have to fucking see this movie.
It's 99 cents.
It's literally 99 cents.
It's a horrible, horrible rip of it.
I don't give a shit, Will.
And the aspect ratio is fucked.
I don't give a fuck, Will.
Great.
At the end of the day, all of that glazed over me. The only thing that mattered is the fucking lizard brain appeal was just like, it was like a giant needle straight into my fucking cranium.
This isn't one entertaining ass movie.
This is some of the stupidest, weirdest shit I've ever seen. Like,
there's also
there's so much. I'm not joking. There's so much nudity in this that it stops being like unique.
Yes.
Like, nudity is the default state.
You just get used to it.
Like at one point, like, it would be more shocking if they were wearing clothes.
Every point where a woman can be topless, they are.
They are. There is one woman in the movie who does not get topless. One. There's a single woman who does not get topless. Every other woman, if they are on screen, they are nude.
Now, also, apparently, so when they go into the Moulin Rouge, I also have to give a warning. There is a heavy flash warning. Like,
bro, that scene is...
That almost, like, fucking, like... Jesus fucking Christ.
It's like flashing lights and the camera's just going fucking
it's
360.
Like it's quickly edited, so it's just like a fucking fever dream of a scene.
Epic.
Yeah. So, when they go into the Moulin Rouge, if you're photosensitive or have epilepsy, just be warned.
Be afraid.
Be afraid because it's a fucking scene.
Because Bruce Lee is going mad. He's going mad for the whole movie.
I'll be honest, I would not mind him if we saw more of his, like, choreography and shit.
We probably will. I mean, honestly, with this and Challenge of the Tiger...
I actually kind of like his, like, fight scenes and stuff. Like, I like his choreography. I'm not even lying. I know we're, like, we've been known to be sarcastic on this, okay?
Oh, it's no sarcasm.
But there's no sarcasm here. I need to see more of Bruce Lee's choreography.
Look, he's already, like... I already know just by watching these two movies that our dude is a fucking lizard brain.
like us, and that's why I appreciate
And
him.
in some way, I feel like we're kindred spirits, you know?
Well, he knows how to make a fucking fight scene. That's all I'm saying.
He knows how to make a fight scene, and boy, does the dude make the simplest goddamn movies ever.
It's great.
And it's fine. Shitty to pretty, what would you even give this? Because I know what I'm giving it. I'm giving it a bold fucking rating.
Honestly, if we're going on, honestly, if we're going off entertainment value alone, I know this is sound wild. Honestly, it almost gets a. I think a 10 out of 10. Like, I don't know, like a 10 out of 10. It's so entertaining. It's so fucking entertaining, and it doesn't waste any of your time, and it just goes. And an hour and 20 minutes, it doesn't even
gone.
It doesn't even feel like an hour and 20 minutes. It feels like an episode of an action movie.
No, this is. I'm. Same thing.
I know. So don't get me wrong. It's bad.
I don't give a shit.
Like, the acting is horrible.
I don't care.
Like, it's choppy. But, like,
well, who cares?
It's so.
You know what it is?
Entertaining.
Well, this is like. Here's the thing, because I'm also 10 out of 10. I'm with you. But here's the thing. This is like. It's like a stew.
Yes.
It's like you take all these fucking ingredients that are just shit. Fucking shit. Bad fucking acting. Choppy editing. Like, bad aspect ratio. Just a plot that's all over the fucking place. You throw all this shit in there. And then you leave it in. You let it cook. And then you wake up the next day. And you take a bite. And it's fucking delicious. That's this movie. It's like you take all these fucking ingredients and you throw them into like a crock pot, and then you wake up the next morning and you try it out, and it's fucking delicious. That's this movie.
Yep.
It's like somehow, some way, it overcomes all this bullshit. And honestly, like, I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, it adds to it. Because the fact that it is so goddamn weird and nonsensical just adds to the entertainment factor. Because you can be like, because there's bad, boring. Nobody likes bad, boring.
No, this is bad, entertaining as fuck.
This is the other thing. This is bad, entertaining. Because it's like, even if you start questioning yourself, there's a fight scene or nudity or both thrown in there just to fucking like be like, hey, this is good. This is good shit. This is great.
Yeah, no, I like this a lot. So... You know what? Gets high marks from me. It's fucking awesome. And that fight
top marks.
That fight scene alone is just fucking great. Also, just a quick side note here. Well, I guess not side note, but I was looking at what movies Bruce Lee did these stunts for. Probably, I don't know if this is gonna be on the podcast or not. I mean, it's kind of in the future. He was the stunt coordinator, uncredited, for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3.
Weird.
Yes. That's odd. He also did utility stunts for Double Take.
Epic.
Yes.
Fucking epic. I don't know what a utility stunt is. But I'll take it.
I don't either. I have no idea, but you know what? I know a lot about watching movies. I don't know a whole ton about like the entire crew.
The crew, yeah.
I don't know what utility stunts are. Maybe that's like something with I don't know. I don't. Anyway, it's kind of hilarious to see that.
We'll find out.
But yeah, so he also wrote the screenplay for Challenge of the Tiger.
Of course he did.
Yep. And then something called Comfort Women.
Oh.
So
Oh dear.
Yeah, I don't know. So anyway, that's Bruce Lee, and
Bruce Lee.
I think we need to see more of him because he's honestly becoming one of my favorite like Bruce Lee clones.
Dude, this dude is like, you mentioned this. This dude is like fucking Asian Al Adamson.
Yeah.
With except better, like
he's like a jacked.
Yeah.
Asian Al Adamson.
I mean Asian Al Adamson in terms of like what you can expect with one of his movies. What is Adamson like? He likes titties and shenanigans. What's Bruce Lee like? Titties and shenanigans.
Yes.
The only difference is that Al Adamson can't fucking film a goddamn action scene to save his fucking life.
At least Bruce Lee can.
At least this has the action, because Al Adamson it's like fucking just full potato status.
Yep. Yeah, so that's a shorter review, but I mean, go watch it.
Do we even mention the title? Ninja Strikes Back.
The Ninja Strikes Back. I don't think we did ever.
Yeah, the name of the film is Ninja Strikes Back.
You'll see it on our the episode list.
Which, by the way,
I'm sorry we didn't mention it, but I had to talk about this movie.
By the way, does that title make any sense?
No.
Exactly.
I don't know why the ninja would be striking back.
Would we have it any other way?
No. Absolutely
no, sir.
Not. It just adds to the entertainment value.
The nonsense adds to it.
It really does.
And why is a ninja striking back? I don't fucking...
The weird clip arty intro.
With the Enter the Dragon music?
Yep.
The intro is literally our dude fighting in a clip art form, and then they insert a ninja in the background for a millisecond.
I swear to God, they also used themes from the Amityville horror, and I know that sounds weird, but I swear I heard some horror scores from that.
We did hear a cover of Boogie Wonderland.
There's also one with Bridge Over Troubled Water, wasn't there?
I don't remember that.
I don't know.
There was another song, but I 100% remember the fucking Boogie Wonderland cover.
Yep.
Which is funny because it's they have no problem using actual Bond score, but Boogie Wonderland gotta get a cover. Can't use the actual song because whoever the fuck made it would sue them. I don't know. I don't fucking know, dude.
Just go watch The Ninja Strikes Back, please. Do yourself a favor. Spend the $1. It'll be well worth it. If you have even an ounce of a lizard brain, go watch it.
If you are a man, watch this fucking movie.
Or a woman.
If you're a woman and this appeals to you...
Or non-binary, we don't care.
Oh, listen.
If this appeals to you at all...
If this horse shit...
Listen, we're progressive. If any of this appeals to you
if this
at all,
garbage appeals to you...
It doesn't matter if you're cisgender,
you can be whoever.
Whoever you are.
Watch it.
Go watch it.
Bruce Lee made a fucking piece of art for us.
If you want just... crappy, entertaining as hell action, go watch this movie.
Amazing.
Thank you. For They Mostly Come Out at Night, this has been Will.
This has been Alex.
And we'll talk to you all later.
Bye. Bye.